and it's Kenny here. Thank you for tuning in to the channel and having a look at what we're up to today. Today's Thursday, 23rd of July 2026, and we are back down in Glen Lyon, and we're currently at the dam at Pubil, and I'm heading in for some munros which are at Bridge of Orchy, and I've chose this way because I fancied it when I was camping over the other end of the dam a few weeks ago, and I thought this would make a nice approach and allow me to get a circuit rather than coming down through Fort William and getting caught up in all the traffic and the tourists and stuff. So there you can see we're above the dam just now, and that little amenity unit there is where we camped, and a visit down here to do Hasgarnish and Craigvore on that side of loch-lyon. This time we're going to cycle right up to almost the back of Beinn Mhanach there, and then meander up into the hills and see how we get on. It's looking a bit drizzly just now, but hopefully it'll brighten up. We can just see the track in the distance. It's about 9k of a cycle, so let's go. And our thistles are out now. Beautiful, eh? You come to a barn for the sheep, etc. So we bypass that going down this way, and then we start cutting in to the glen. That's where we were a few weeks ago there to do Hasgarnish and Craigvore on the other side of loch-lyon, and this is where, and that's where I kind of got the idea coming in this way for Creachain and Achaladair and Mhanach. After a wee while, we're well inside the glen now. That's the back of Beinn Mhanach there, Creachain and Achaladair. So once the track ends at the wee stream here, just beneath Beinn Mhanach, we put the bike away and start getting up on the hill. I'm going to go anti-clockwise today. Of course there are no paths this way, and I've never been up this route, so it's a bit of a pathfinder. So we look back to loch-lyon and the glen we travelled up down to that junction there, but that's where we'll be finishing the walk. Beinn Mhanach there. We'll come down as low as we can, then cross over the Peaty Hag and pick up the bike and then cycle out. So now we head into the cloud line, and our summit is in there. All being well, the summit should be just about up here somewhere, and the sheep have got there before me. Here we are, folks, Beinn Creachain, and that would be the normal approach. Unfortunately, we didn't get much to look at today. There's a view down to loch-lyon and across to Beinn Mhanach there, and the normal approach down it via Glen Lyon. keep an eye on where we're going, just in case we go wandering. This is the third time I've been round these munros, and that's the first time I've tackled Beinn Creachain from that side. I have to say it was pretty good. Just unfortunate we didn't get the views, but in fairness we wouldn't have got the views coming the main route anyway. So was it quicker? I don't know. I didn't have the walk in that you get from the other side, and it certainly felt okay going up the hill. Bit steep right enough, and it's a lot easier from the other side if you can cope with the walk in and the walk out. Anyway, we'll see what the rest of the walk brings, because this is the kind of tourist route right across to the next munro, and then we'll decide on our best approach across to Beinn Mhanach. You've got to keep your eye out for the little turning to the left, and then that takes you down to catch the ridge good and proper. So you can see our route here. We traverse this ridge line, then drop down about 800 metres there, then head up that next munro. So there's a view down the normal approach route. You walk out and then you come to the turning off point there and come under the railway line and follow the river all the way up to the loch-lyon, then head out and catch that shoulder and then head up to the summit. But you can also come up this face here, which is quite steep. I've done that in the winter, and yeah, it's quicker, but yeah, there's a bit of exposure there. That's our next one there, the one with all the crags, but there is a nice wee track leading up through that. And that's our next target there. There's a nice wee path snakes its way up and it tops over there. So that's the view ahead. And after the wee rocky section, not much more to go. This wee bump, then on to the top. I'll weave you back down to Glen Lyon there. Look at that rocky buttress there. And you can see the route that we've travelled. You want to go tumbling there, eh? The hilltop's over there, but wonder if we'll get a view. Spectacular views on my last visit. And the spectacular views from the middle cairn. Hee-haw! Unlucky. The Pubil, Crease, Achaladair, Beinn Creachain, Beinn Mhanach, Beinn Lyon the way down there, Beinn Mhanach, and over at the Glen Lyon side again. That's the railway line down there. That runs all the way along there and heads out to Carua. But it's also the road there that takes you to the edge of the forest, which allows you to walk up to the first munro-bagging Creachain. And I've tried this route today. So now it's going to be a straight beeline right over to Beinn Mhanach there. Never done this way either. So this will be interesting. It looks a bit of a peat hag, and I've got to give a lot of height away. So stop moaning now, let's get going. Crossing now to get to a starting point for Beinn Mhanach. Well, we've just stopped to load on some calories again, a wee flapjack, satsuma and some juice. So now we're ready to head up Beinn Mhanach here. And as you can see, it's quite far, however it's not steep, so it'll be a gradual rise thankfully. Beinn Mhanach. Phew. Here's the first one today. Beinn Creachain, Beinn Achaladair there, Beinn Doran, that's the viaduct there where they normally approach this hill from Och, and those three are all corbett's in that zone. Craig, Moore, Hascarnish, and there's our dam away down there. That's where we have to get back to. Wow. Mail Viewdy and loch-lyon over there. And straight through there, the big Pubil, Gleann Cailliche. Superb. So now we've got to get back down there, and the safest way is to head this direction for a wee bit and then turn left. That's loch-lyon, and you can just see the track on the left hand side that we follow all the way out. But first we've got to get down there. Well folks, there's a look back up there to Beinn Mhanach. You don't need me to tell you that care's required when you're descending from the summit there. Just keep well back and then find a nice gradual descent route. Don't be tempted to take any of the easier looking options, because as you can see, it wouldn't be a pleasant ending if you fell there. The last section's a wee bit of a peat hag. Waiting for this boulder here, and there it takes us right down to the end of the road, and I can see the bike in the edge of the stream. And we're back to the bike safe and sound. Just finished the video here. I'll just say, well, that's the first time I've done the munros from this side and as a group of 3. That was the purpose of trying this route, to see if I could include Beinn Mhanach, and it was pretty straightforward to include it doing it anti-clockwise. I think I was vindicated doing it in that direction, because I wouldn't have fancied that pull up Beinn Mhanach straight away. However, the pull up Beinn Creachain was just as tough, but at least the cloud was doing it. You couldn't see it all. Anyway, it was pretty straightforward. Great day, mixed weather, cloudy and overcast at the beginning, a bit of drizzle cycling in, but then it brightened up and we got some fantastic views, so hopefully we get some nice scenery. Well, I'll sign off just now. You don't want to watch me getting back in the bike there. I'll tune in if there's anything exciting on the exit route, but hopefully it's just a straightforward cycle out with no punctures and no incidents. So thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you're keeping well, keeping fit and looking out for each other, And I'll catch up with you the next time, all being well. ATB, cheers.